بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أحييكم إخواني وأخواتي بتحية الإسلام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته، وأهلا وسهلا إلى درسنا السادس من الوحدة الثانية لدروس في اللغة العربية. أنا أخوكم محمد مناف، وأهلا وسهلا. Welcome once again. As we continue نستمر في درسنا في الدرس الماضي. الدرس الماضي يا شكير، في الدرس الماضي the past class, the previous class. وعدتكم. وعد means وعد. إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات. وعد to promise. وعدتكم. I promise you. وعدتكم في الدرس الماضي in the previous class أننا that we سنقرأ that we will read من هذين الكتابين. هذا الكتاب وهذا الكتاب. هذا وهذا يساوي هذان في هذين. كتاب كتابان. right. في هذين الكتابين. سنقرأ من هذين الكتابين اليوم. فهذا الكتاب كتاب دروس اللغة العربية لغير الناطقين بها لفضيلة الدكتور المرحوم عبد الرحيم رحمه الله. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on his soul. سأقرأ من الدرس الثاني. For those of you who do not have your books, we had already sent it out to you in one of the previous classes, so you could go back and you will find we had sent a few lessons for you. اليوم إن شاء الله سنقرأ من الدرس الثاني. الآن now أريدكم I want you أن تستمعوا to listen. Okay. لا تفتحوا كتبكم. Do not open your books. وأنتم المشاهدون, those of you who are viewing, لا تفتحوا كتبكم. I want you to listen. أريد منكم أن تستمعوا to listen. أنا سأقرأ. وحاولوا and try أن تفهموا. حاولوا أن تفهموا. طيب. الدرس الثاني. هذا الدرس حوار is a dialogue or a conversation. حوار بين هشام وبلال. هشام المتكلم. ما معنى المتكلم؟ speaker. all right. هشام المتكلم. السلام عليكم. وبلال يجيب answers. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالك يا أخي؟ كيف حالك يا أخي؟ من الأخ؟ من الأخ؟ من الأخ؟ Who is the brother? قال هشام أنا مدرس جديد بالجامعة. أنا مدرس جديد بالجامعة. Translate. I am a new teacher at the university. طيب. اسمي هشام. أنا من الولايات المتحدة. أنا من الولايات المتحدة. الولايات هكذا بالولايات. هذا نسخ هذه الرقعة. الولايات. ولايات جمع plural of ولاية. ما معنى ولاية؟ state. الولايات states. المتحدة. المتحدة from right United States. أنا من الولايات المتحدة. قال بلال: أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بك يا أخي. أنا مسرور بلقائك. I'm happy. Yes. بلقائك. لقاء. Have you ever heard the word before? لقاء. Sometimes they say we have a sister's لقاء. Meeting. So بلقائك, to meet you. All right. I'm happy to meet you. All right. أنا زميلك. أنا زميلك. ما معنى زميل؟ colleague. أنا زميلك. Your colleague. اسمي بلال بن حامد. I am Bilal, son of Hamid. I'm in Washington, أنت؟ يا هشام. I'm in Washington. Are you from Washington? I'm in Washington. أنت يا هشام. لا. أنا لست من واشنطن. إني من نيويورك. We don't need to translate anything there, right? Except لست. What's the meaning of لست? Not, right? From the verb ليس. But we said something about ليس. ليس is not really a verb. It resembles a verb. Why we say it is not a verb? Because it doesn't have a tense. And it doesn't, so you don't have a imperfect tense. Okay? But it resembles a verb because it is conjugated like a verb in the perfect tense. So you have ليس, so he not. ليست, she not, right? And then you could have ليس and ليسوا, they and he, and all right? And then you could have لست or لست, then لستي, and لستو, and so on, and لستما, لستم, and لستن, and all of those conjugation. All right? So ليس negates, but only negates nominal sentences. Right? So that means to say when ليس is used, you'll have nouns coming after or pronouns. All right? So last two in Washington. أمسلم أبوك يا هشام؟ أمسلم أبوك؟ Muslim. Question. أمسلم أبوك؟ طيب لا هو ليس بمسلم. So we can say it like this. We could say هو ليس بمسلم. He is not a Muslim with a ba, right? Or we can say هو ليس مسلما. Here we have a ba. Ba, harfu jar. That's why you have kesra. Without the ba, it goes in accusative. All right? So, huwa laysa musliman, or both of them correct. He is not a Muslim. Okay? So, Muhammadun maridun, Muhammad is sick. Muhammadun laysa bimaridin. or Muhammadun laysa maridan without بدون الباء. هل فهمتم؟ Two ways. طريقتان. نعم. قال هو ليس بمسلم. أأمك وأمك وأمك and your mom أهي مسلمة أمسلمة هي أمسلمة هي لا هي ليست بمسلمة. So what we're actually noticing here, we are just actually noticing the usage of how Lysa is used with the masculine and feminine, right? So you have Lysa. When we're talking about male, we say Lysa. We are speaking about female, we say Lysat. Okay? طيب لا هي ليست بمسلمة. ألك أبناء يا هشام؟ ألك أبناء يا هشام? Do you have sons? Do you have sons? Because from Ibn, Ibnun Abna, right? نعم لي ستة أبناء. لي ستة أبناء. Okay. أطلاب هم؟ أطلاب هم؟ Are they students? لا هم ليسوا بطلاب. All right, so you're noticing again the conjugation of the verb. Now it's in the plural form of Laisa, right? So لا هم ليسوا بطلاب. إن بعضهم, are we going back to inna from lesson 1? Huh? Remember what inna does. إن بعضهم تجار وبعضهم مهندسون. Right. So some are merchants and some of them are engineers. Alaka banat. Alaka banat. Do you have daughters? Banat jam'u bint. Banat jam'u bint. نعم. نعم لي خمس بنات. لي خمس بنات. All right. Okay, supposing other than the book, but we are looking at the number. So if you have, we say li, all right, and we have khamsatu ab abna, all right. Here, this is masculine, but this is feminine. Remember from numbers from 3 to 10, we have the opposite. This has to be the opposite of this, the gender. You have to remember that rule, all right? When the thing that you're counting is masculine, the number has to be feminine. How do we know the number? How do we know when the number is feminine? Because of the ta, right? So we say khamsa two. And then we also have to know that the numbered has to be plural. We only use the plural from 3 to 10. From 11 onwards up to 99, singular. Right? So these are rules we have to know. And this is khamsa tu abna'in. All right? And then if it is for girls now, we have li khamsu without the ta marbuta. This is masculine. Why? Because here is feminine. All right? So the thing that you're counting when it is feminine, this has to be masculine. That rule applies only for when you're counting from 3 to 10. That's for numbers. All right, so all of those things you have to try to remember. All right, حاولوا أن تذكروها. نعم لي خمس بنات. Amutazawwijatun hunna. Amutazawwijatun hunna. Are they married? Mutazawwij. Mutazaw. No, it's not zawjat. It is mutazawwijat. So we would learn the verb later on. All right. From the word we have zawj, which means spouse. Zawj can mean a husband, or it could mean a wife. Ya Adam uskun anta wa zawjuka, not zawjatuka, right? So zawj means your spouse. So if Allah is talking to Adam, can't tell Adam, well, stay in your or dwell in Jannah with your husband, all right? Because he's speaking to a male. So according to the context of the usage of the word, depending on who you're speaking to, you just change it. Just like how we speak in English. If you're speaking to a female, where is your husband? No, where is your spouse? It means your husband. And if you're speaking to the wife and you ask, where is your spouse? Right? So that is something that is understood from context. All right. So you have zawj. Zawaja is if I were to conduct a marriage between two people. So zawaja al-imamu, the imam conducted a zawaj. Right? Baina kazawa. And then the person who got married, he will say, tazawwajtu. I got married. Tazawwajtu means I got married. Good? So there's a difference between zawaja and tazawwaja. So you have to know also how to use. Tazawaja is an intransitive verb. Zawaja is a transitive verb. All right? So tazawaja, tazawwajtu. I got married. And then from that, you have remember the different sections we had, the different derivatives. All right? So under the heading of ismul fa'il, the active participle, from the verb tazawwaj. We didn't do that verb as yet. But how do you form it? To form the active participle, you put a mim with a dhamma, right? A prefix, and make the second to last letter kesra. So that rule you have to remember it because it will go for all of the verbs that we didn't even do as yet. All right? All of the verbs that we did not do as yet with regards to verbs that are triliteral verbs with extra letter, if you want to formulate the active participle, as a general rule, you add a meme with a dhamma to the beginning of it. Right? So you put a prefix, meme dhamma, mu. And you're making sure that the second to last letter has a kesra. So the verb is, so let us look at it. If we're following that rule. So we have let me write the vowels with a different color so it becomes more outstanding. Ta, zaw, waja. Right? So if we want, that means to be married. To be married. If I want to get married, like I'm a married man then, all right? We put a meme with a dhamma and the second to last letter, kesra. And because it is a noun, muta, zawijun. Right? So a male person would say, Ana mutazawijun. A female person would say what? Ana mutazawijatun. I don't want a ta marbuta to make it feminine. Mutazawijatun. And then you could have the plural for that now. Mutazawi. And that is the word that you're looking at in your book. So you all understand how you derive there, you reach there? And the plural for this one, masculine. Hmm? Mutazawi, June. Sound masculine plural, right? So you have to remember those rules. Very important. That's why I taught you all those rules, right? From the beginning, so that all of that you will have to. So if you see the word like mutazawijatun, you have to also be able to rewind it. Take away that, bring it singular, take away the tam or muta, and then you see the mim or the dhamma, okay, take out that, and you get the verb, right? So you also have to know to go backwards. Okay, amutazawijatun hunna la hunna lasna. So we looked at the verb laisa. We look at laisa, laisat, lastu. We also look at lastu or lasta, right? And then we see laisu, and now we're seeing lasna. All negating, the conjugating, right? نعم. هن لسنا بمتزوجات. إنهن صغار. إنهن صغار. ما معنى صغار؟ صغار. ها؟ small. صغير. صغير. So صغار, we have the nouns are the adjectives. صغير, which is masculine, all right? And feminine for صغير is what? All right? So, okay, feminine. But the plural, صغار, right? You could have صغير and you could have صغيرات also. For this, it could work صغار and you could also have صغيرات. So, plural. Right. So, صغار. إنهن صغار. بعضهن في المدرسة. بعضهن means, huh? Not بعد. It's not a dal, but it's a ضاد. بعض. بعضهن. بعض. بعض. Some. All right. It can be written, the dot could be written like this. Or it could go like this. This is to replace the dot with a dot. Right? So بعض means some. بعضهن. And we notice it's hunna because we're talking about female. Right? So بعضهن في المدرسة. في المدرسة الابتدائية. ابتدائية. Preparatory school. Preparatory school. Like prep school then. Right? وبعضهن في المدرسة المتوسطة. المدرسة المتوسطة. متوسط. You know the word وسط? Huh? Do you know the word وسط? وكذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا. So what وسط mean? What is the meaning of وسط? If you have a scale and the scale balance like that, right? Or if you have a line and this is 0 and this is 12 and we say وسط. هذا الوسط. يعمل هذا وسط. Okay. So from wasat we have mutawasita. Right? So it means like what we just call what? Huh? Primary school. Primary school. All right? Primary school. And secondary school is called Thanawiya. But secondary, remember the word for second, two, right? What is two? Ithnan, right? And how do you say second? Thani, like none of it, there's a Thani, right? And you have Thanawi, secondary. Madrasa, al-madrasa to Thanawiya, all right? Secondary school. Because madrasa is feminine, so the word has to be feminine, right? So gradually learn all of the words and learn how to use them, right? All right. وبعضهن في المدرسة المتوسطة. وبعضهن في المدرسة المتوسطة. Right? So some of them in primary school. ألك إخوة؟ ألك إخوة? Do you have brothers? لا ليس لي إخوة. لا ليس لي إخوة. إن لي ثلاث أخوات. إن لي ثلاث أخوات. Let's look at that. So remember I just told you. So we have the word ukht. All right. Ukht means sister, right? جمعها جمعها, it's plural. The plural of it that is what? Huh? أخوات. All right? أخوات. So if I want to say how many sisters is it? 3. So we have akhawat here. Akhawat. All right? Akhawat. What is the gender of this? Feminine. So we have to get, this has to be what gender? So 3, how do we say 3? Thalathu. Akhawatin. Good? Thalathu akhawatin. Mudafun ilay. Good? Now we have inna. All right? Inna li, verily for me. Salah is changed to a fatha. So originally it means, it basically is inna thalatha akhawatin li for me. But the li come inside here. Okay? But you can't lose focus on the rule. Inna, this is thalath is ismu inna, mansub. Good? Okay. Inna li thalath akhawat. Thalatha akhawatin. Amuslimatun hunna? Amuslimatun hunna? Na'am hunna muslimat. Na'am hunna muslimatun walhamdulillah. Okay. So the second time I'm going to read it now, and hopefully we understand everything. سأقرأ مرة ثانية. سأقرأ مرة ثانية. وإن شاء الله تفهمون كل شيء. إن شاء الله. قولوا إن شاء الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالك يا أخي؟ من الأخ؟ أنا مدرس جديد بالجامعة. أنا مدرس جديد بالجامعة. اسمي هشام. أنا من الولايات المتحدة. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بك يا أخي. أنا مسرور بلقائك. أنا زميلك. أنا زميلك. اسمي بلال بن حامد. بلال بن حامد. أمن واشنطن أنت؟ أمن واشنطن أنت يا هشام؟ لا، لست من واشنطن. إني من نيويورك. أمسلم أبوك يا هشام؟ لا، هو ليس بمسلم. وأمك أمسلمة هي؟ لا، هي ليست بمسلمة. ألك أبناء يا هشام؟ نعم، لي 6 أبناء. أطلاب هم؟ لا، هم ليسوا بطلاب. إن بعضهم تجار وبعضهم مهندسون. ألك بنات؟ نعم، لي 5 بنات. أمتزوجات هن؟ لا، هن لسن بمتزوجات. إنهن صغار. بعضهن في المدرسة الابتدائية وبعضهن في المدرسة المتوسطة. ألك إخوة؟ لا، ليس لي إخوة. إن لي 3 أخوات. أمسلمات هن؟ نعم، هن مسلمات والحمد لله. طيب. Now you open your books and now you're going to read it for the 3rd time. And hopefully now you're going to, and then you're supposed to have your own chance to read so that I could listen to you. And then, to be fair, I'm supposed to ask at least each one of you, okay, you read the first sentence, you read the second sentence, and like that and that. But then next week we might have an empty class. So we will forget about that part of the exercise. All right? So we're going to skip that part. We're supposed to read it one more time. I'm supposed to read it one time for you, and then you repeat it. You say it afterwards, right? All right, so we're going to skip all of that because it's not so much of reading, but still I'm supposed to hear you read. All right, because of time, we're moving on. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Answer the following question, or answer to the questions, the following questions. من أين هشام? You all can remember? من. All right, but you can be which? Okay, yes. من الولايات المتحدة, because the next question is asking من أي مدينة هو? Medina means, what's the meaning of Medina? City. Which city? من New York. كم أختا له؟ 3 أخوات. طيب. ضع هذه العلامة. ضع means, what's the meaning of ضع? Put. ضع. So we have ضع. What is the from which verb did that come from? From وضع. وضع. All right, command. The waw goes. All right, and this turns to a sukun. So ضع. Because this book was prepared for male students, because الجامعة الإسلامية بالمدينة المنورة طلاب كلهم ذكور. They're all male students. All right, but supposing you want to tell a sister now, put. ضعي. Add a ya to it. ضعي. All right, ضعي. All right, so ضع. هذه العلامة علامة صحيح, like a little star. All right. أمام أمام الجمل الصحيحة of the correct sentences. وهذه العلامة علامة X أمام الجمل التي ليست صحيحة. All right. So Hishamun min Washington. So what we're going to put next to it? X or tick or X? X. And so on. So we're not going to do that in class. That's your homework. All right. I just want you all to I want to make sure that you understand the question and what you have to do. And if you have any problem about the answers, all you need to do is to go back to the text. ارجعوا إلى النص الحوار وإن شاء الله سوف تجدون you will find الأجوبة the answers للأسئلة for the questions. تأمل ما يلي the next exercise التمرين الثالث. All right. التمرين الثالث the third exercise. تأمل means observe. Observe. ما يلي. So observe what follows. ما يلي. يلي means follows. حامد طالب. And then across on the other side, حامد ليس بطالب. We spoke about Lysa in one of the previous classes, so there is no need to go through this, right? And you have Lysa and Lasta and Lastum and Last and so on. That's basically the conjugation of Lysa. Okay, so we're moving on to the next page. الآن ننتقل إلى الصفحة التي بعدها. ننتقل we go to إلى الصفحة إلى الصفحة التي which is بعدها which is after it. هل فهمتم؟ أدخل. What's the meaning of أدخل? Huh? All right, don't get mixed up. Do not mix up what two verbs. All right. We have the verb dakhala. All right. Dakhala means he entered. But then you have another verb which is adkhala. We didn't do this type of verb as yet. Adkhala means to cause to enter. To cause to enter. To cause to enter really means like to put in. You know, but you have many verses of the Quran. Yudkhiluhum jannatin. Right? So adkhala, this here, the command, al-amru, for this is udkhul. Right? So I need to highlight this, what I'm talking about. We have udkhul. That means enter. Somebody knocking and say, udkhul, udkhul, come, enter. But from this one, al-amru is adkhil. All right, so notice they have a fatha here. These triliteral verbs without extra letters, all of those verbs that we did before in the previous module 1, all right? You remember, can you remember that for the command, it is either a kesra or a dhamma, but never a fatha? Can you remember that? Like kataba, yaktubu is either with a dhamma uktub, all right? Jalasa yajlis, ijlis, right? Iftah, ishrab. So it's either kasra or a dhamma, but never a fatha, all right? And you had the rules. But for this type of verb, it is a fatha, adkhil. So do not, if you see something, if you see the word looking like this now, right? Good. Now look at this. We have no vowel. How would you know now it's udkhul and adkhil? Right? You have to know what come here. Right? Here will determine the vowel in for this. Right? Reasoning. That is maths. Right? You have to reason. Okay, that's why Arabic is so beautiful. You have to reason all the time with the words. Can't be this, it has to be that because. All right, adkhil. But you see, the teacher was kind enough to put in the vowels there for you. All right? So because the students didn't do that verb as yet. أدخل ليس على الجمل الآتية. أدخل ليس على الجمل الآتية. على is preposition. Sorry. على الجمل الآتية. So you know what you have to put in ليس. الباب مغلق. Let's do the first one. الباب مغلق. That means the door is closed. Right? All right. The door is not closed. الباب ليس بمغلق. Or if you leave without the ba, then you will say what? مغلقا with tanween fatha, right? الماء بارد. The water is cold. All right? The water is not cold. الماء ليس بارد. All right? And so on and so on. Next one. اقرأ المثالين ثم أدخل ليس على الجمل الآتية. اقرأ المثالين means what? لا. المثالين. ما معنى المثالين؟ ها. You don't know this word, مثال? What's the meaning of مثال? Example. One example. Two examples will be? Huh? مثالان. Right? We have اقرأ. All right? And we have alif lam here. This is what kind of verb it is? Transitive verb. It's a command. Read. Al-mitha. Now this alif will have to change to a ya. Right? Because this is object. مفعول به. Short form for bihi, you could do like. Quick. Right? مفعول به. So, same thing. So, اقرأ المثالين. Read the two examples. And then what? ثم أدخل ليس على الجمل الآتية. So you have to read the two examples here. All right? Okay. Let's go on to صفحة 16. صفحة 16. التمرين السادس. التمرين السادس. The sixth exercise. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية بالنفي مستعملا ليس. أجب means answer. عن الأسئلة الآتية, following questions, بالنفي, with a negation. With a negation. So all of them you have to answer with a negation. Make it negative then. مستعملا ليس. Using the word ليس. So أمهندس أبوك. What is the meaning of the question first of all? أمهندس أبوك. Is your father an engineer? Your answer has to be my father. So you want to say no, لا, my father, not an engineer. ليس مهندسا or ليس بمهندس. All right? Like that. And so on. Let's answer the next one. Let's go to the other one. What does it say there? Hmm? If you see a word like this, that's what? This is not a kesra, it's a raw. What is this? Call out the letters. Right. What word is that? Mudarris. So we put a shadda there, right? Without the shadda, we're supposed to be able to read it too. Mudarris. Good? Now, if we want to make that feminine, it'll be what? Mudar. Right? This is mudarrisa. Good? What about this word? Is there any difference between this and this? And this could be madrasa. But this could be mudarrisa too. All right. So supposing I had a sentence like this. This is fi, right? And we could go like this too, you know. But that is a little bit too advanced. The alif and lam join up together. All right. So we go in step by step. All right. And I have no vowel. And you read it like this. Again, reasoning. You have to reason. If the possibility of this word is you have two possibilities. It could be teacher. So you have female teacher. Sorry. Female teacher. And then school. And we have it here. So what is the first one? How do you read it? Huh? The teacher is in the school. So then it will be al-mudarrisatu fil madrasati. All right? So it can't be no other thing. It can be al-madrasatu fil mudarrisa. The school is in her, you know. She's always about the school, talking about school, living school. It could mean that technically. All right, but that is not, that is far-fetched, right? So al-mudarrisatu fil madrasati. Okay. Let's continue. أين وصلنا? All right, so we finished with exercise 6. We move along to التمرين السابع, the 7th exercise. All right, the 7th exercise. Let's finish it off quickly. يوجه المدرس إلى كل من الطلاب أسئلة يكون جوابها بالنفي ويرد عليها الطلاب مستعملا لست example. So basically, teacher has to ask these questions, direct the questions to the students, and the student have to answer by saying, lastu, I am not. All right? So I say, I'm mutazawijun, and we say, lastu mutazawijan, and so on. And the next one, اقرأ مثال ثم أدخل إن على الجمل الآتية. Read the example and then put in inna into the following questions. لي ثلاث أخوات أصله ثلاث أخوات لي. All right, what I just explained to you a little while ago. إن لي ثلاث أخوات أصله إن ثلاث أخوات لي, and so on. All right, so basically that's it. So for the last exercise, you have to put in inna, right, into the following questions. Next one. من هذا الكتاب الآن. العربية بين يديك. العربية بين يديك. Arabic within your hand reach. Right? It's a conversation again between Tariq and Tahir. متى تستيقظ؟ صفحة, page. I wanted you all to listen. أريد منكم أن تستمعوا. See if you could make out anything. You have to hear Arabic, right? Yes. See, we want to hear some Arabic too. متى تستيقظ؟ متى تستيقظ؟ When do you wake up? أستيقظ عند الفجر. أستيقظ. أنا أستيقظ عند الفجر. أين تصلي الفجر؟ أين تصلي الفجر؟ أصلي الفجر في المسجد. أصلي الفجر في المسجد. أين تصلي الفجر يا شكير؟ في البيت. وأين تصلي الفجر يا محمد؟ أين تصلي الفجر؟ لا, not this morning. عادة. All it في المسجد. So give me a complete answer. أعطيني جوابا كاملا. أصلي الفجر في المسجد. أصلي. If you're asking the question, you say أين تصلي. Right? And the answer, I أصلي. أين تصلي? So you all have to start practicing those things, all right? أين تصلي الفجر؟ أين تصلي الظهر؟ أين تصلي العشاء? And so on, right? And for the sisters, it will be أين تصلين? Right? أين تصلين? تصلين. You have to put a noon at the end, right? أين تصلين الفجر؟ في البيت. نعم. طيب. هل تنام بعد الصلاة؟ هل تنام بعد الصلاة؟ What does it mean in English? Do you? بعد الصلاة؟ لا, بعد الصلاة, after الصلاة. لا أنام بعد الصلاة. لا أنام بعد الصلاة. ماذا تفعل بعد الصلاة؟ Right, ما شاء الله. أقرأ القرآن. ومتى تذهب إلى المدرسة؟ ومتى تذهب إلى المدرسة؟ طيب. أذهب الساعة 7. All right, I go to school at 7. هل تذهب بالسيارة؟ لا, أذهب بالحافلة. I go by bus. Now, لا, and then you have أذهب بالحافلة. A pause. If you do not pause, you could change the meaning. That is how important a pause is sometimes, or many a times. A pause in speech can change the meaning if you apply a pause or you do not apply. So if you say, لا أذهب بالحافلة, لا أذهب بالحافلة means what? I do not go by bus. لا أذهب بالحافلة. But you say, لا, pause, stop, hold on. And now you say after that, أذهب, because so the لا is answering to the question. هل تذهب بالسيارة, or do you go by car? So you say لا. Stop, pause a little bit, and then you state. But if you were to answer and say لا أذهب بالحافلة, لا أذهب بالحافلة, do you go by car? No, I don't go by bus. Do you go by car? I don't go by bus. You understand? So don't confuse the listener. All right? And then you have some questions. All right, let's see if you can answer the questions. متى يستيقظ عند الفجر? من يستيقظ عند الفجر? Well, you don't know the name, so you're going to know. أين يصلي الفجر؟ يصلي. هل ينام بعد الصلاة؟ لا. ماذا يفعل بعد الصلاة؟ ماذا يفعل? He. We're talking about he. So the answer has to go with he. So it will be يقرأ. يقرأ القرآن. طيب. متى يذهب إلى المدرسة؟ يذهب الساعة السابعة. الساعة السابعة. طيب. كيف يذهب؟ مشيا, walking. يذهب بالحافلة. All right. All right. Question now directed to you. متى تستيقظ أنت؟ متى تستيقظ? When do you wake up? أنت. Don't tell me لا تقولوا لي. Do not tell me أستيقظ بعد صلاة الفجر. قبل أذان الفجر. نعم قبل أذان الفجر. Before. في أي ساعة؟ في أي ساعة تستيقظ؟ الرابعة. الساعة الرابعة والنصف أو الساعة الخامسة. أنا أستيقظ الساعة الخامسة. طيب. أين تصلي الفجر؟ You know the answer. ماذا تفعل بعد صلاة الفجر؟ أنا أنام. أحيانا. أحيانا means sometimes. All right? أحيانا. So understand, remember that word. What is sometimes? How do you say sometimes? أحيانا. All right, so I think we have to finish here now. It is 22 and it is الآن حان وقت الأذان. أذن يا مؤذن. سمعنا صوتك الجميل. بارك الله فيكم. انتهينا درسنا اليوم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. That's the end of our class today.